Hi, what's going on guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today's video is about the Azteca raid, and I know a lot of people have been looking forward to me putting out Azteca raid content on my channel, and I thought why not we upload a video regarding the secret boss, because not many people are really talking about the secret boss. A lot of people have completed it, but no one's actually made a video regarding it. And there is another secret boss in the Azteca raid, but I will have a video about that later. I don't know when I'm gonna upload the video, but I will have a video later regarding the north secret boss as well. But let's talk about the south one, because there's a lot of ways to victory in this fight, just like Rapbeard says, and there's many ways you can defeat this fight. It just comes down to how you want to do that fight. So how the fight works is pretty simple, as surprisingly enough. And I actually even made a little image for you guys that you can see on screen, just so it looks a little bit nicer, and so everyone can see what the cheats are looking like. But it's the voice of death. What does the voice of death drop? It drops energy elixirs, or you can possibly get triple animus elixirs. It's not like how it is for raid 1 where if you defeated Millispeeder there's a chance at you getting an elixir. This is more of a guarantee. It will either give you an energy elixir or triple animus elixir. From what I've heard from the community, a lot of people are getting either or. There hasn't been any other drops that I've heard from other people in the community, and from my experience, all we've been getting is energy elixirs or triple animus. That could just be luck, but at the moment that's what we just seem like it drops. So let's talk cheats. He says, I speak into existence more pips. Everyone on the field receives an aura for max pips every round. So every time you even join the fight or anything like that, everyone on the field will be getting an aura. You cannot get rid of that aura, you cannot switch it or anything like that, and you would get penalized even if you try doing it, because the fact is, even if you switch it, he'll just switch it back. And since you have max pips, he also has a cheat called I speak your pips into pain. At the end of the round, every player gets hit with a mana burn based upon the amount of pips you have. So if you have more pips, the bigger the mana burn. You do not want to be having max pips in this fight, trust me. You can possibly even get one shot in this fight if you aren't wasting your pips every round, so keep that in mind. He also has a cheat called that shall become pips. If the player tries to blade, trap, or shield, it becomes pips. Side note though, you can blade other people and shields, but it removes the hanging effect that was placed on you. So for example, if I do a blade storm, the blade storm remains on all the players but not me. It turns into pips. If I use a mass tower shield or anything like that, it just removes it on me. When it comes to traps and everything like that, you can actually trap this boss round 1. Round 1 has like this buy period, I would say, right? And it's like that on some bosses in the raid, and I've noticed this. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but there's actually a way where you can trap the boss round 1, and it just doing a trap round 1. For some reason the cheats don't activate till the next round, so all these cheats where it says I speak or anything pips related doesn't activate till the second round. Your aura does get changed, but your aura doesn't activate its pips till the following round. So you could theoretically, if you wanted to, and this could be an option depending on the strat that you're going for, is that everyone spams traps on round 1. So for example, if you're going to go for the heckhound strat that I'm going to be showing you, it would be kind of nice to also have a, fuels, and having the same fuel for that reason being because you can go for gins if that's the case, you can go for heckhounds, you can go for many things in this fight. I've seen a lot of variety in the community. Even my strat is its own separate thing, right? So just keep that in mind when doing this fight. There isn't no end all B strat at the moment. Down the line there probably will be, but at the moment I did want to upload some raid content for you guys so you guys can see some of the raid bosses that are actually in the raid, because it's cool just posting some content regarding the raid. So what did we do? we had our own little strat just because we're kind of just going for badges at the time being. And what our plan was, I really wanted to try bounce in the raid. So what I did was every time I went first, I would go for a scion. Every time I went second, I would go for a judgment. That was my whole plan, right? And what the other people would do in the fight, depending on the school, if you were alive, you would just be spamming dryads on everybody, making sure that they're alive, you know. You could use rebirth, but honestly then you still get mana burn with your leftover pips, and it doesn't help you out, if I'm being honest. And on top of that, if you're having pip conserve on your stats, you're also pip conserving most of the time, and that's not really helping you because you get mana burn due to it. So just keep that in mind when going, you know, just choosing your deck setups and everything like that. We also had a fire on our team. We only had one fire on our team just because we're limited on players. But what the fire did was just essentially spam heckhound. So they would use some heckhounds here and there, but they would also toss in a scion. So then they can set up their scion condition, which is if you have 2 dots on the enemy, you can do a scion and do more damage. So there's a lot of ways to victory. I think honestly, like looking back at it, it really just comes down to what you want to do, and I kind of really like that about this raid. There's no end all be all strat at the moment, so everyone's just like, you know, do this, do that, do this, you know. So it's kind of fun just seeing what people are thinking in the community when it comes to that. But another thing is, when you're doing this boss fight, I'd say it's recommended that you go for retribution. The reason why I would say you should go for retribution for this fight, and the reason being behind that, I guess I could say, is that it does a lot of damage, right? Retribution does 14,000 damage on this boss. You don't have to go for retribution, right? But I feel like later down the line, when people are going to be cooking up strats on, you know, how to get to Hun Hao and everything like that, and how to, you know, efficiently organize your team, I definitely think going for retribution is not even that bad of an idea, due to the fact that if you're doing multiple fights and you're doing retribution, it could cast on other fights that are happening in the raid. So just tossing that out there as a suggestion. We used it just to go for the badge, so if you are doing a badge run, there's no harm in trying to get you know, retribution done for you guys, because you are getting rid of 14k, you know. So that's just an FYI. When you're using heckhound does like 2,000 a tick, right? And it's going for 3 rounds, so overall that's doing some damage as well. But we're also tossed out the idea of, like, you know, using blade storm. So if you have a balance, for example, like me, I could blade storm and, you know, blade up all my allies in the fight. You know, they get a 20% buff on whatever hit they do the following round. But that's only on round 1. Round 1 is like that buy period, right? After round 1, I would not recommend blading. I would not recommend even trapping or anything like that. It's just not worth your time, because if you have high amounts of pips, you are going to get mana burned and you are going to die quick. So the whole purpose of this fight, from what it seems like, is just wasting pips. I know some people tried going for stupefy. Thing is with that, right? Yeah, you ignore the cheats of going for blades and traps, but how useful is that for you, you know? If you're going for other things at once, I can see some people going for it, but honestly, I'd say I wouldn't go for stupefy this fight at all, right? If you just somehow get it while going for another fight, I mean, hey, I mean, it's not really going to affect this fight drastically, but I wouldn't go for it personally. So if you really just want to just do this fight for the badge for the time being, and you feel like, hey, I want some EEs or something like that, definitely just as simple as it is. You can just do person 1, 2, and 3 do traps round 1, and then the last person does a fire bubble, and after that, just literally judgment spam. You can go for scions, fire scion, of course. You can do heckhounds and then set up a fire scion. You can go for, if you are doing the whole trap situation, you can go for a Jin. You could do 2 Jins. The first Jin is going to do like 13k, especially if you use a cantrip round 1, which we were thinking about, you know, if you did a cantrip, if you do 2 cantrips that give traps, right, that's 4 traps, and that's another good amount of damage if you're going to go for a Jin. So you can go for a Jin round 2 and do like 13k on the first Jin, right? And this boss has like around 56k, I believe. So 13k is really good. That's essentially almost like retribution right there, right? So if you are doing retribution and that Jin, that's already like 50% of its HP just yeeted out the window. So you can definitely like 4 or 5 round this boss if you wanted to, right? If the trap thing is intentional, you can honestly 4 or 5 round it. But if the trap thing is not intentional, I'll definitely make an update on this video down the line, of course, because this video is not final, right? But I wanted to upload something for the raid content's sake, you know? I do have a lot of raid videos or raid attempts just sitting on my desktop, but I kind of want to make that content later down the line. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions regarding this boss, do tell in the comments below. But you do get a badge for summoning this boss, and you do get a badge of killing the boss. So whoever's in the fight are the people who get the second badge, which is for killing it, but everyone gets the badge for summoning the boss. And the way that you summon this boss is that there's tablets all located across the map. There's no reason for me to make a mini map showing where all the locations are, just because they're really just spread out in obscure spots, like on the side of the pyramid, whatever. So it's like a little stone tablet, and what they do is it has a corresponding school on it, and depending on what school you are, you have to cantrip the tablet so it lights up. Once all 7 are lit up, the boss will spawn. And you guys can do the South Secret boss whenever you feel like it. And to check which ones you're missing, if you go on top of the pyramid, whatever is lit up is what you're missing, and that's the tablets that you need to find. They're just really located all over the raid, and you know, just whenever you find them, call it out to your teammates, and you can definitely light them up and summon the boss. There used to be able to do this boss multiple times in runs. It was like that in Test Realm, where you can do the boss multiple times and just instantly respawn. That was not intentional. I know a lot of players were saying, oh, you can just do runs and just farm EEs. But yeah, that was not intentional. If that was the case, you know, I would be doing this for hours. But it really just comes down to if you want to waste your resources. I know a lot of people were like, I'm probably going to do this boss, you know, for the badges, and that's about it. But it just comes down to the player base, what they want to do, right? I'm going to enjoy doing this boss whenever I get the chance. This has to be, I think, one of my favorite bosses in the game so far. Just having max pips every round is like the best feeling ever. Not going to lie. Just because the game involves pips so much, just having max pips every round is like just the best feeling ever. Another thing is I did want to try was, if you spam heckhound and you use the incendiate jewel on your pet, there's a chance you might detonate that heckhound as FYI. So if you detonate that heckhound, you're gonna be doing double the damage. And I looked back on it, it's really not that bad of an idea, but it could affect other fights if you do get it to cast. I know it's like a low percentage, but if you do get it to cast, it can ruin runs. Because, for example, if you do a dot on an enemy and there's a hot on the enemy and you do incendiate, there's a chance that boss might come back alive due to the fact how incendiate works. Incendiate doesn't just detonate any dot on the field, it incendiates anything that's a dot or a hot. So if for some reason you have a dot on the enemy and it's above a hot, you will kill the enemy and then you'll detonate the hot even though they're dead, and they come back alive. So you don't want to have runs where you do that. So it really just comes down to what you guys want to run. Overall though, I hope you guys have been enjoying the Azteca raid videos, or even just been enjoying the Azteca raid in general. Hopefully it's give you some insight on one of the secret bosses. Definitely I'll upload the other secret boss down the line. I kind of already know what to do. It's just I want to take some time on uploading that video. So hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all type of stuff. Join the Discord down below if you do want to join my guild. I'm going to be raiding in my guild probably in like 2 weeks from now, and I've been getting a lot of people that have been wanting to join. So if you do want to join Discord and just ping me whenever you feel like it, and you're more than welcome to join. Just make sure you're level 160. If you're not, it's okay. Just try to get to 160 as close as you can, and we can do some raids. But that's about it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.